And also, yeah, in director.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Diz Idiots, the podcast about anything and everything in the world of Disney, nerd area, whatever we want it to be. Because, I am still at the point that I host two separate podcasts and I have two separate intros and I get them mixed up left, right, and center. And you know what? It's downright a problem at this point. Over there, and by there, I mean over there, we have Bruce. I still haven't gotten used to which way is which on a camera.
What's up, party people? Listen, Bruce, I keep you like a gummy bear here and there and everywhere.
Hey, at least they haven't remade that one yet.
If they did, then at least remake it right.
Well, yes, because all you need to make that show correctly is rocks.
Yeah.
So, I think we should just deal with the chipmunk in the room.
We're going to get this, just get it out the open. Let's start telling like it is.
Out of the way right now. Was it this morning? Today, the Rescue Rangers trailer dropped. And, we were talking about this last week. It sounded like it could be a good thing to see, bringing back the characters of old. I watched the trailer. I watched it again. I watched it a third time. And I have one simple question. Who is this for? It doesn't seem to hit the nostalgia mark. It doesn't seem to hit the kid mark. I don't know who it's for.
I don't know who it's for, why it's for. And, because Andy Samberg is in this, I'm just going to pull out a Terry Crews from Brooklyn Nine-Nine here. Why? Why did you choose what you chose? Why? It just doesn't. Actually, folks, we touched on this last week. We discussed about Who Framed Roger Rabbit and not being able to have a sequel. They basically said, Dozer just said this, we were talking right before we started, they backdoored a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit out of this. And it doesn't seem to fit. And maybe listen, I'm not saying this is going to be bad. Who knows? We could be wrong. I don't like it. I don't like the flow of it. I don't like the feel of it. I watched the trailer 1.5 times. Halfway through it, I'm like, I don't, what is going on with this? And maybe it's a bad representation, but it feels off. It feels like the Happy Time Murders meets Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's not necessarily a compliment, even though I love both movies separately.
So, if you haven't seen this yet, which I encourage you to go watch it after you're done watching us or whatever, we'll give you the rundown. We're not going to watch it here. We're not those type of people, generally. And, so first, it's live action. Which, what? Most of the characters are 2D animated. Notice I said the word most because Dale is CGI. I don't get it. And yes, they make the reference that he had the surgery. Which, I'm sure is Hollywood vanity and all that good stuff. Because it's framed as what? Like an E! True Hollywood story almost.
It is. It definitely is a almost it's Hollywood true story, behind the laughter, whatever you want to call it.
So we have that, and that it feels awkward. And Roger Rabbit in there again, awkward. But I'd rather have, if you're not going to have Bob Hoskins as the.
You mean because we can't have Eddie Valiant because of the obvious? Rest in peace, Bob.
Yes. Chip and Dale might be the best way to go for a backdoor reboot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like,
honestly,
I'd rather it be framed that way, though.
I agree. I like what you did there, by the way. I see. But whole thing of including Roger Rabbit in the trailer as the cameo, I truly do believe was as a tip of the hat to and let people know this is what we're doing, kids. Because all the it's set in the real world, so humans and animated characters exist in the same place. Chip and Dale have fans who are human fans who are greeting them and the crew, and they've fallen out, and the show is over. It's like, well, were they actors? Are they actually rescue rangers? Or were this a group that actually did solve things? Or was this like a TV show? It really is hard to say at this point.
And I have another question, and this is actually a rather... It muddies up the Disney Afternoon cinematic universe because this is a continuation of the original story, which to me indicates that it is not the same as DuckTales, which is not a continuation. It is a retelling. So the cameo in DuckTales does not relate to this.
But how can we have Scrooge playing in actual money?
I would die for that, please.
It's in the trailer.
I missed that.
Yeah, oh, you did? Scrooge is playing in an actual pit of coins. Gold coins. It's in the trailer very briefly, and I was like, so where are we at? Where are we at with this then?
I don't understand. Who is this for? I'm not going to say it's not for me. It's for me. I'm probably going to enjoy this more than I have any right to, as much as I am criticizing it right here, right now.
We're criticizing what we saw. And that's the thing. With trailers, you can only criticize what's in front of you. That's why, like, Jordan Peele's trailer for Nope works, because they don't tell you a lick about the movie. It's just to gain interest. So, but this, I just don't... I'm struggling to find how they're going to... I think this is going to be a boom or bust for them. I unfortunately think this trailer is going to be more bust for people than boom. This is going to rely on word of mouth and people to see it and go, hey, oh my gosh, this is actually really good. You should check it out. The trailers don't... any trailers for things. And also, is it a movie or series? Because I thought they were doing a series. And it's a movie. I thought they were doing a series at first.
No, it was a little muddy at first, but going back and watching the original, like, launch information, they said a special movie.
Okay.
But everybody thought series, because DuckTales had a series.
I did. I didn't realize it was a movie. I just saw Rescue. I more thought, listen, DuckTales Rescue Rangers was a series. It's going to be a series. One complaint I had, this is a minor complaint because it happens in everything, but some of the voice acting, John Mulaney is just doing himself, and that's fine. But because Chip and Dale still exist, and we know what their voices sound like in every other medium, and also this is supposed to be an exact continuation. Your voice didn't sound like that then. Explain this, please. But it's just like, I hear him and I'm like, this happens all over. I mean, in DuckTales, you had the actress who did Abigail. In Gravity Falls, a Disney show, Bob's Burgers, a non-Disney show, Kristen Schaal does her voice of Mabel and Louise. It's the same voice. Obviously it's going to carry over. But this, I'm like, listening to him, I'm like, I'm just hearing Big Mouth John Mulaney at this point.
Yeah, and,
Again, it's a minor complaint, but it's there. Because it's like, I'm thinking Chip and Dale.
Yeah, and that's always going to be the issue as you have more and more big-name actors entering the animated space, the voice acting world.
Listen, we all know my feelings on Chris Pratt and Mario.
The same as everybody. I don't think anybody sat here and went, that's a decision that makes sense.
Apparently somebody did because they signed the contract.
Yeah, well... Do I need to say anything more than we're talking about Mario here? He does not have the best film record. People sign random things for them all the time.
Bob's biggest regret. If you ever read any of the late Bob Hoskins, who was the human star of Her Friend Roger Rabbit as Eddie Valiant, he did an interview once, and one of it, what's his biggest regret, and he said flat out, Super Mario Brothers, it was a expletive disaster from day one, and he lists all the reasons why it was a disaster. Bob held nothing back.
Because it was, and it made no sense.
No, it didn't. But yes, I agree with you on that. But yeah, back to the point of Rescue Rangers here. I'm actually bringing us back on topic once, so kind of back to me. I used the derailleur. Yeah, just I obviously I hold the reservation out that this is going to be something good, and maybe as we see more, we'll be like, oh, it was just a really poor representation, because it was a very chaotic trailer too, all over the map.
I was having difficulty following.
Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe this is just a poor representation. Bad trailers exist. Trailers are hard. There's movies where some trailers look great, and then you're like, ooh, that was bad.
You're right. And speaking of trailers, Bruce, we get to say you were 100% correct.
I mean, I love being right, but why was I right?
Because after watching the Multiverse of Madness trailer, there is no way on God's green earth you will understand that if you have not watched the Disney Plus shows.
No, not at all. You have to have watched them. Even What If. You have to have seen these. And and all the things are still finding things in the multiverse. Deadpool apparently was found today.
So, I don't think he was found in the trailer. What they found is a photo of Ryan Reynolds dressed as Deadpool.
No, it was in the poster or something. One of the shattered images that's what I saw. It had Deadpool. Something that looked a heck of a like Deadpool in it. And that's why I said supposedly. Also, sometimes, these computers and people are very good with them. So who knows? The computer's not always telling the truth.
Yes, but I will go with the photo Ryan Reynolds posted of him in the Deadpool costume with the people behind him, the woman directly behind him. Is not the costume designer for any known Deadpool movie, but is instead the costume designer for Multiverse of Madness. I have no validation of that because I don't know who designs any of these costumes.
I'm here. I love the possibility of everything we're seeing. Monica Rambeau. I love the possibility of having an animated universe in here. Please, come on, Spider-Ham. Or just not Spider-Ham. Does it have to be Spider-Ham? It can just be other Marvel animals. I'm here for that. But I like what I'm seeing here. I really think this is going to be a special movie. Still haven't seen Far From Home yet. Not Far From Home. No Way Home. Sorry. Whichever home movie that was the last one that came out. I've seen Far From Home. Yeah, I haven't seen No Way Home yet, but what I've seen out of Multiverse of Madness looks on the money, and of course, Sam Raimi's got it. The man will never lose a step. It's just going to be chaotic, and he's just the man for that kind of job.
I'm beyond excited for it, and I missed the trailer during the Super Bowl. I literally just watched it today.
And I don't know if it actually aired during the game. I think it aired pre-game.
Well, yeah, and I was with a bunch of people that refused to watch anything not related to the football.
Yeah, no, because I don't really tune in until closer to kickoff, and it did not air that I saw. I could be wrong. Maybe I stepped out of the room or something. I did not see it air during Super Bowl proper. No paddle trailer beforehand and then another trailer during. But either way, yeah, I've watched it about twice now after the game because you really need it. This is a trailer you're going to have to pay. These are things you're going to have to pay attention to. You never know what you're going to see, Professor X.
I have missed so much that after this, I am going to go to somebody much more professional than us, somebody who has way more time and effort, like New Rock Stars or Screen Rant or somebody, and watch their breakdown.
That's what I've been seeing today, all sorts of here's what we're seeing, here's all the little things you might have missed, but I'm okay with that. You know what, because this is a movie that it's an anything goes kind of movie, and we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here. If Raimi likes to throw misdirections too, because remember, still haven't seen Bruce Campbell yet. He's in there, we all know it. I keep mentioning it.
Again, just to remind everybody out there who doesn't think Marvel does misdirections, just remember Hulk in Infinity War trailer. Was it? Yeah, it was Hulk. So they know what they're doing. Taking out, not putting the CGI in of Thor's missing eye. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, and we'll see. I'm very excited.
Very excited. There was definitely a moment where I went, ooh, that's going to be a part of the movie Bruce is going to struggle with.
Oh, you mean I'm sorry, we can't call it Shimagoroth now, but whatever the tentacled ancient beast is, who's Shimagoroth. Shimagoroth, how would you say that name?
Ay.
But that was also in the other trailer, so I'm prepared. I was also that's a heavy rumor to be in the movie from, if you haven't seen What If, that's part of episode 1.
Was it episode 1 or episode 2?
1. That was first episode, right after the gate. With Captain Carter, who's also in the movie.
Yeah, but we're excited about her.
Duh. More Haley Atwell? Yes, please.
I know you are. And we're down. We're supposed to be a Disney Resorts podcast, so I think we should talk about Mr. Bob Chapek.
Oh, what
prices are going to rise next year.
Again. If I don't raise prices, will people still come? Better raise the prices.
There's nothing to say. I don't want it. Nobody wants it. Prices don't need to go up at Disney.
You're pricing yourself out of an average market now. It's getting out of hand because everything raises, even your special events. You are really starting to. What is it going to be? $300 for a single day ticket at Disney? What?
And I will say, the important thing, and it's what I tell everybody when they're looking at all these price raises. Stop looking at the price of a single day ticket.
Yeah.
That's not what Disney wants to sell. That's not what the majority of people buy.
It's not, but that's what everything becomes based off your first day ticket, and it goes from there. So I know that, but what I'm getting at is more, if you're single, it's all going to add up. If your single day ticket's $300, so your next day is still going to be $250, then the next day is going to be $200. That's an incredible increase.
Yeah, it's going to be problematic. That's all there is to it. And, luckily people want to oust him. It's not going to happen. We covered that last week.
It's a thing that starts, listen, it started before him, but you start to wonder, is there a certain point that they're going to start alienating themselves and eating their market share? And I'm starting to wonder if they're not getting there's plenty of Disney people out there, of course. But are you truly offering them enough for these tickets? And I don't know if you are. And by the way, because again, remember, you're going to want to ride our brand new attractions. Oh, sorry, you're going to have to, again, back to Rise of the Resistance. We're going to charge more money. Oh, you want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, you had to either pay or being in a boarding group for that. Sorry.
Oh, speaking of our lovely Lightning Lane system here, friend of the show, which we just like to call him friend of the show, but he's really the inspiration, Mr. Van from the NetCop podcast.
Oh, Van NetCop.
Posted on his Facebook today, update. Genie Plus and Lightning Lane make everything worse than you thought they would. # Disney Cash Grab. And hit the nail on the head. And this is a man who very rarely had a bad thing to say during the initial run of his podcast about Disney. He was critical, but he was never one of the most critical people. And Jasper, you're freaking me out because I saw you moving, and I'm like, oh my God, is Coda in here? Sorry. Jasper the dog made it.
Jasper, my dog, and Coda, his dog, have the same colorations.
But we got that lovely little bit of insight from Van, who is currently at Disney. He also posted that it's not that guy, as Gary Sinise is no longer in Mission Space. If you know the show, you know he hates Gary Sinise.
Yes, he does.
So we do have that little bit of knowledge coming, and we do have a major breaking policy change coming to Disney World Resorts.
What kind of policy change could it be?
No masks if you're vaccinated. Okay.
On most things, indoor transportation and such, they still are going to require them.
Well, I would hope so, because on the transportation, generally speaking, at least on my last trip, I am still close enough to people I could lick their nose.
I was just going to say that he can lick them. Yeah, no, they're still doing the same thing, so that's why they're doing that. And yeah, because all the companies are following suit, especially down there, Universal, SeaWorld, you name it. I'm assuming Busch Gardens, Tampa, but masks flying off are a problem down at Busch Gardens right now.
Oh my.
With our new, for folks, if you're planning to, I'm going to plug this now then, while we're talking back on the theme park topic. If you are planning to travel down to the Disney in Orlando area, you may consider taking an hour or so journey over to the coast to Tampa to go to Busch Gardens, Tampa, because Iron Gwazi is as good as promised. The early word, they're letting riders on, and the early word is this roller coaster is the best in the country, better than Steel Vengeance. They said it's absolutely, from the word, you crest the lift hill, and it does not stop until you hit that final brake run. It is apparently, the videos out there, Iron Gwazi looks as good as promised, if not better, and everyone's saying that it is that good. From the word go, it is kick-ass. And if you don't believe me, watch the POV videos, because that drop, woohoo!
Yeah. I'm excited. Anything they touch is chef's kiss. It's absolutely perfect. They know what they're doing.
If you're driving around and you near your local park, you see iBox track, just honk your horn and wave, because something good's about to come your way.
Yes. Absolutely. And we also have our first look at the return of the Cape May Cafe's breakfast buffet. It apparently is only breakfast so far.
That breakfast means clam bake's coming soon, but Cape May Cafe does a very good breakfast. And the characters returning as well?
I have not read. It's literally only pictures of food. Mangello must have photographed it. But I have to say, having eaten many a Disney breakfast buffet, this is a step above.
Their breakfast buffet was always very good.
I have been to many Disney breakfast buffet, and I have yet to see Eggs Benedict on the bar. And I see Eggs Benedict, and I am all for that. Because, normally it's boring stuff. I hate breakfast buffets generally because it's eggs, bacon, sausage.
It's the same stuff you're going to get.
So,
potatoes.
I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, yep. Because being a upper with the resort they are, Beach Club, I've always been, obviously people know, you've heard me, how many times have people heard me plug Cape May Cafe? Breakfast and dinner.
Which, that reminds me, in the morning, I need to go make that reservation.
Yeah,
I'm at Boardwalk.
You are at Boardwalk. You can walk to it. You best get on that.
Oh, Cape May Cafe is happening now, because, oh baby. So, because everybody's talking about it, and everybody ends up at Disney World at some point. Bruce, what'd you think of the Super Bowl?
I thought it was actually, I liked it. I thought it was a good game overall. Yeah, you could argue the middle was a little slow. I thought it was a good game. I don't necessarily need to say, I want to say the proper team won. I thought Cincinnati actually was outplaying them for the majority of the game. But when it mattered most, Aaron Donald and company locked down. I thought that shove out of bounds really did get his motor going. Stopping that, getting the interception there looked like a nail in the coffin. Bad Stafford's going to show up again. But I got to just when it mattered most. The defense did all the plays they had to do. They locked down. Cincinnati's defense fought in there, but Cooper Kupp came alive when he had to. And Matt Stafford, basically on that last drive, willed it in. I'm going to throw the cup, and you're not going to stop me. I'm getting the Super Bowl. And then at the last play, I'm sure you've seen out there that it looks like Jalen Ramsey fell down. Jamar Chase. Now, it's hard to say. Was the play already decided at that point? It looked like Jamar Chase was wide open, but it wouldn't have mattered because there's video of Sean McVay even calling it. Donald's going to make the play, and he did. I thought compared to the last few Super Bowls, I thought it was good. I don't think this is one of the best Super Bowls we've ever had, but I think it's far from the worst. I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed it. Halftime was all right. Halftime's never for me, though.
So I'm going to take over a little bit of the halftime review here. Well, it's a very divisive halftime show. There's a lot of people that didn't like it. There's a lot of people that thought it was the best thing ever. Here's what I will say. It is not an aging British rock band. It was not Coldplay. It was entertaining, but it was also not confusing. Like late Katy Perry and Madonna, they had so much going on. You didn't really know what was going on.
I can't speak for Madonna. I only saw the backside of it.
I forgot who you got to see.
I was at Super Bowl 46, so I saw halftime live. Behind, the camera was filming us, so I did not get a good look of the Super Bowl halftime that year.
And then there was last year's The Weeknd, which I didn't get. At all.
In defense of The Weeknd, being in Tampa, the middle part, that was a Horror Nights house. We were seeing Horror Nights fans. I thought Bruno Mars had one of the best ones in recent memory. Again, the halftime show, and I'm not knocking this year's halftime, folks, by any means. I'm here for the football. Halftime, to me, it's music I can hear. I thought this one, to me, just felt long, but all the halftime shows feel long. Admittedly, the only thing I was really embarrassed about, it took me way too long to realize who the man from the ceiling was. Way too long.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making a fool of myself and having a comment that aged worse than milk in a hot tub. Because right before, somebody's sitting there, and Dr. Dre is on the screen at this point. They have not started playing in the club. He goes, "Is that 50 Cent?" I'm watching the Super Bowl with a bunch of older pale men. And he is that, no, that's not 50 Cent. They never have 50 Cent do something like this. Go, shorty. Well, damn, I was wrong.
I heard the music, and then I'm like, I don't recognize. Oh, it is him. Oh, Vinny got older.
Shocking, they got older.
That's right, Vinny got older. Haven't seen a picture of him in a while.
So, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was the hits you needed to hear. There was worse. There's been way worse.
Yeah, you mentioned one that was way worse. Katy Perry. Oh, here's one for you. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Tapestry of Nations.
I forgot that one existed.
Also, Red Hot Chili Peppers were not the headline. They were and also appearing in that one.
Who was that year then?
That might have been Coldplay.
Oh, because I know Bruno Mars. I thought was a pretty good one when he did it. But yeah. He's a great performer.
Well, he's done it twice. Once as the headliner, once as not.
I'm thinking the year he was the headliner.
Okay. Let me get through all the drama. List the Super Bowl halftime shows. Here we go. Scroll down to when they started getting decent. Nope, still in the 80s.
What about the marriage of Pac-Man? That's a Simpsons reference, ladies and gentlemen.
Madonna, no, Destiny's. So, Red Hot Chili Peppers played second fiddle to Bruno Mars. So you're thinking show.
I like the Bruno Mars parts because I forgot they were in it. I was like, I didn't like that part. Oh, but I know I like the Bruno Mars bits.
Yeah. And I've had 2 Super Bowl halftime shows I've really enjoyed, and there's a simple key to making a good one. You stick Mary J. Blige in it. Because love him or hate him, 2001 Super Bowl halftime show with NSYNC and Aerosmith is something to behold.
2001. What Super Bowl was that?
Hold on, I gotta go back like 30 years.
Oh, I think I know what Super Bowl it was, and there's a reason I'd like to forget it.
Hold on. Yeah, but you should forget.
It was Ravens Giants. Yeah, that's why. So the halftime show was the highlight because everything got downhill from there.
But all in all, it was really good that year. And, just the year before, we came off of Tapestry of Nations.
Yeah, but, we came off of Tapestry of Nations, but 2 yards shy, that was a great game.
Tapestry of Nations featuring Bill Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton. There's a name you haven't heard in a while. And the 80-person choir of Georgia State University, all trying to welcome us to Disney's Millennium Celebration. Because that was a good idea. That put butts in the seats, pal. That is a wrestling reference. Which that world is currently blowing up. But that's my other podcast every Thursday at 10:05. Such Good Shoot, the podcast about anything and everything in the world of wrestling.
You're going to want to watch this week, folks. They're going to have a lot of good things to discuss.
Oh, yeah.
That's not being facetious. I'm serious. You're going to want to tune in. There are going to be some hot takes. And I mean hot takes.
If they listen to pro wrestling podcasts, they already know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but if they don't, this is a way to watch it. This is going to be a good introduction for people. Folks, you should really watch this. Speaking of really watch, since that's on Thursday, I'm going to give a little public service announcement for those who may not be aware. It's a double whammy here. On Friday, for those of less inclined, and everyone knows where I lie when it comes to my movie tastes. Public reminder, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre returns to Netflix on Friday. And if you haven't seen the trailer, it looks promising. And for fans, if you are looking for things for Texas Chainsaw Massacre related, tomorrow on CavityColors.com, cavity like the tooth, colors.com, should be a number one source for horror movie merchandise for the most part. Their stuff is awesome, great quality. They will be having a limited drop of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There will be no reprints, so what they drop will be it. I'm a big Cavity Colors fan. You've actually seen me wear Cavity Colors stuff before. Not tonight. This shirt, on the base Pure Horror Nights. Yeah, that's my public service announcement for horror related. But considering Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for those who know me know, the original is one of my favorite, probably my favorite horror movie of all time. A direct sequel to it. It looks promising. Very promising.
Yeah. Which also, things I am not hyped for because I do not believe it will translate well. Netflix has picked up BioShock.
I'll believe it happens when I see it.
I don't think it'll work as a show.
It's a movie.
I don't care. That game needs to be in an interactive medium too.
Here's my thing with it. If you know BioShock, I don't look it up if you're interested at all. If you never played the game, the BioShock games all include a twist. Once you know the twist, it kind of defeats the big purpose. And I'm a huge BioShock fan. I love all 3 games. Okay, I shouldn't say that. I love 2 of the games. I like number 2. Number 1 is fantastic, but I love BioShock Infinite so much. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think it's going to be that good. I just don't see how it can be. It needs the right. It's got to. That's one the lightning's got to strike perfectly on that. I don't think it will, but who knows? When they first announced Netflix had Texas Chainsaw, I was like, really? Like that's going to be any good? Looking pretty good. We'll find out Friday, but it's looking pretty good.
It does mean we're starting to see a trend in these content wars as they're heating up, as more and more video game franchises are getting snagged up for these movies, which in reality, if you're looking for series or movies that you're just going to release on streaming, this is where video game movies were made to thrive.
Except for one. There's one thing that is thriving on the silver screen. When I say thriving, it's got a sequel coming and has been greenlit for a 3rd. Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming out, but they just got greenlit for a 3rd. And for Sonic fans, Idris Elba, I think it's Idris, how do we pronounce his name? Mr. Elba is starring in a Knuckles series on Paramount Plus, already announced.
Well, and here I thought you were going to talk about Blood Rain.
Talk about what?
Blood Rain.
Yeah, no. Halo's also been renewed for a 2nd season ahead of its premiere.
Look, I am excited as anything for the Halo series. I have fallen deep in the Halo lore hole. It is a very interesting world they got going on there.
And it's a very easy hole to fall into. If you're not a Halo fan, just start reading. Once you start, once you pop, the fun don't stop. Once you start, you can't stop.
Zachary, you are 100%.
Bonfire of the Vanities.
We don't know. It is terrible. It's bad. It could be good. It could be good. Just don't know who at all.
I encourage everyone to watch things with an open mind, but Zachary, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Also, for Bonfire of the Vanities 2, cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm just... The Halo series, I've fallen deep in the Halo lore hole with, and the fact that they're doing it right. They're not making it follow the game canon. That's perfect.
Not everything needs to follow perfectly for adaptations.
But how do you make that work with BioShock?
You know, you could actually combine elements of all 3 games into one. It's not impossible. Especially BioShock is one giving the Utopia setting. There's ways of doing this. With Rapture, I'm not against it fully, but I'll believe this. I just personally will even believe it's coming out when I see it. It's just like I just watched Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, which I thought was actually a very good movie. Great adaptation, really combined games into one, really good. And that actually gave me a lot of hope. The trailers did not look good for that, in my opinion. Watching it gave me a lot of hope for future video game tie-ins. So I agree with you. I don't know how you're going to do this with BioShock, mainly because of the nature of just the game it is. It's got a great lore and story, and also, like I said, if you know the reveal, you know the reveal.
And then that means you're going to have to change it, which will annoy current fans of the franchise. Or you have to do it, which means they're all going to know it.
I would ask, would you kindly keep an open mind about BioShock? Couldn't help myself, sorry. Spoiler alert, couldn't help myself.
Well, I do have another question. Since we're just talking about video games at the moment, how many video games are going to be named Infinite or Infinity in the next 10 years?
A lot. BioShock Infinite was a 2014 release.
Yeah, they started this trend. Because we have Halo Infinite. We have Assassin's Creed Infinity coming out. Come on, people.
Last of Us Infinity coming. Oh, that's another piece of media coming. I'm excited, but I'm tepidly excited for The Last of Us.
The game was basically a movie. Don't.
Oh, they have to make changes to it, but I'm very excited. I am ready to hurt. I really am. I am ready to hurt again.
You know, I've just gotten back into video games, and I'm trying to figure out what games I absolutely need to play. That's not on my list.
Well, it can't be on your list, but
There are ways.
What?
I'd figure it out.
Good luck with that. Hey, listen, I'm all for it. If you want to hurt like I do, I love The Last of Us, The Last of Us Part 2. I'm ready. I am fully ready to hurt again. Oh, I love that story so much. Strong feelings here. Must play games. Because you know what the problem is? Not only do you have AAA titles, but indie titles are so strong like now. Like, I'm going to tell you, Cuphead is a must play. I don't think you will like Cuphead in any stretch of the imagination.
And that's my whole thing. And it's why I won't probably go for a lot of the indie games. It has nothing to do with them not being fantastic games. I'm an easy to normal player. I'm not here for the challenge. You challenge me a little bit too much, I'm walking away. I've walked away from plenty of games, even games I can now beat. I walked away from back in the day because I just don't do the challenge. I get bored with it. So, yeah, Cuphead, not my cup of tea. I know that. I'll finish up. I'm playing through all the Halos currently. I'll finish them up soon.
I would say Back for the Blood is great, but one, you got to play in a team, and two, I actually haven't beaten it. That last level, for any of you who actually play Back to Blood and are listeners right now, I'll admit, this shows my level of how great at the game I am. I cannot beat the Abomination. Me and my friend need a stronger team. So if you are part of a team out there, feel free to let me know. I play on the Xbox. Please, we're looking for help. I would love to finally beat the Abomination, because I've beaten every other level multiple times. Abomination, can't beat it. Because there's really so many good games out there. You know what? You should play BioShock Infinite.
I was going to play I haven't played any of the BioShocks.
Yeah, you can't play Infinite. You got to play the first BioShock. I was joking because BioShock Infinite is just, again, it's my favorite of the three. But you got to really play the BioShocks in order to really get.
Yeah, and now, look, I know the twist. I got the joke, so I know the twist.
Couldn't help myself. I just couldn't.
But I also, I'm a lore person. I watch lore video game YouTube all day, every day. So, BioShock's one with deep lore. I've watched a lot of it.
Excellent lore. Oh, play Elden Ring, because that's only going to be great for someone like you.
I have a feeling that is broadcast.
Elden Ring is the newest game from FromSoft. George R.R. Martin helped with the script of the story of the game. Miyazaki is helping with the visuals. But if FromSoft does not ring a bell to you, maybe the words Dark Souls, Demon Souls, or Bloodborne may ring a bell to you. And if those do, this one will be the more accessible of them. First off, I was playing these before it was cool. I played the original Demon Souls before it was a hit, before Dark Souls was a thing. So not that I'm the trendsetter here, but well, yeah.
Hipster versus hipster.
Yeah, these games are not known to be. I was playing this game going, this game is hard. Jesus, I don't think I can beat this. But I'm, unlike Dozer here, this not knocking him in any fashion. I'm one of, okay, you say, okay, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you, game. I'll get you. There's like 3 or 4 games I've never beaten. Mischief Makers, one day I'm coming back for you. I will win that game eventually.
Page Master.
Ooh.
That game is probably why I have a hatred of hard games at this point, because I don't think I ever made it past the second level, because that game is ridiculous.
There's just some games out. And listen, you get games that are unplayable. Superman 64, anybody? If you know, you know.
I at least felt good. Whatever level I got stuck at in Page Master was the same one that stopped the angry video game nerd.
Page Master's a notorious game. There's some notorious ones out there. Like, I don't know, what's more fun? Battletoads Turbo Tunnel or running into a brick wall, my head into a brick wall 10 times? I think the brick wall personally, but
it is what it is, and we'll get there. There'll be good games to play, and you're going to hurt yourself. But no, I like to keep it simple, keep it stupid.
You know what? You know what you should play? You should play the Kingdom Hearts trilogy.
No.
Come to the dark side. We are waiting.
I have tried to play the Kingdom Hearts trilogy. I do not like it.
I used to love Kingdom Hearts.
I know you did. They broke your heart.
Oh, they did. I'm ready to hurt again, though. So many other games coming. I'm ready to hurt. As much as I say I'm not going to play Kingdom Hearts again, they're going to Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming. I'm like, take my money. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's just, I will happily play Kingdom Hearts, but look, as evidenced by the fact of how easily I get annoyed at too much of a challenge, you can guess, long also bothers me.
Well, yeah, you got to grind that. Unfortunately, you got to grind it out.
I have beaten one game with a grind.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X, I know.
Yeah. You know where Final Fantasy X-2 is? Still unbeaten.
I'm not going to comment because my opinions on that are not exactly the most favored, but I was not a fan of 10. I did not like when they started making sequels, direct sequels.
Oh, no,
I didn't.
They made a direct sequel.
I did not. 10-2 was okay. It's nothing great, but you're talking to somebody that is sitting here going, "Oh, can I get a top-down remake? Can I get an up? Oh, we're remaking Final Fantasy VII. Yes, that's great. But where's Final Fantasy VI's version of that?
Nobody cares about it except you.
They would. They don't. But until they see Kefka Palazzo done in modern visuals, all of a sudden, oh, they care. Speaking of modern visuals, since we're talking about video games and gamers out there, if you have a Nintendo Switch in April, Chrono Cross Remastered exists and it is coming. I'm so excited. Chrono Cross is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Really, it's top 5 behind, well, the number 1 of all time in my book will always, now forever be Super Mario RPG. But Chrono Cross is one of my favorites, right up there with the original Chrono Trigger. And that is coming to the Nintendo Switch in early April. Yes, it's real, it exists. Be excited, gamers.
Absolutely, and I think we have hit the maximum level of our mission creep for today.
We have.
So, we've been the idiots. We're the idiots, so you don't have to be. He's Bruce. I'm Dozer, and we'll catch you on the flip phone.
Oh, one last thing. I almost forgot. Folks, you haven't heard me give an update in a while because we haven't had an update. Permits are filed. HHN 2022 is underway at last. We don't have dates yet, but we have permits filed. I will have updates soon. It just came out today. And I completely forgot those, and thank you for reminding me. But HHN Maniacs, don't worry. Brucey's gotcha.
And on that note, I want a video.